Welcome back to Radio Shack, here with more Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, this episode, Monsters Among Us, is probably without a doubt the best episode of this arc. But no, seriously, this episode was pretty fun. It was the funnest and the most crazy episode of this Halloween arc, Monsters vs. Mutants. And yeah, and again, I gotta say, everyone knows that Raphael is my favorite turtle of the group, and he's been really fun in this arc. I like Vampire Raph is probably the best thing about this whole Halloween arc or whatever, especially in the beginning of the episode when they get back to present day, when he's just saying that they can't win, that his masters will prevail, and just the evil laugh that he has is just hilarious. But they get caught up fighting some of these monsters that are attacking them, and they have to escape into the sewers. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong. Now, we saw Leo, before they escaped into the sewers, take out a couple of vampires with a stake gun. Now, didn't they used to be people? So is that... I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, but they escape into the sewers. That's where they have their advantage. That's their domain. And we see Dracula and Savanti kind of talking, and Savanti's kind of worried because the turtles are not, captured or destroyed or turned into monsters. And Dracula's like, "Don't worry, man. I got this. I got peoples that can handle the situation." And who show up? Casey and April. But we cut back to the lair where we see Donnie trying to get Renette's time staff back up to at least 50% worth of power, and Mikey's reading up on some Halloween comics, trying to study. And the whole time Raph is trying to tempt Mikey into getting the garlic off around his neck. And like I said, Raph is just so much fun. The Vampire Raph is just the funnest thing ever right now. And don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed his character before, but this is just so much. This Raph is just so much fun. But he actually puts Mikey into a trance and actually gets him to take the garlic off. And he goes and takes down Donnie, who's working on the time staff, and he's able to get away with it when a whole bunch of monsters start attacking the lair, and we get this great fight. And what goes down, exactly what happens, is that April actually bites Donnie, and they have to get away because there's too many monsters up in here. But they eventually escape into this lab in the sewers, and all of a sudden you see Donnie turns into a vampire and they have to escape. Meanwhile, Raph is able to take the time staff to Savanti and Dracula. And who does he give it to? Dracula. And that's where we see the classic, so many villains working together that they start to turn on one another. But unfortunately, the time staff doesn't work for Dracula because he doesn't know exactly how to use it, because he wants to go back in time into the beginning and turn everyone into vampires so he can rule the world of the living dead. But since the time staff doesn't work, Savanti tries to sick the Pharaoh on him, but it doesn't work. Dracula just takes him out, no problem. But we get to this battle in the city, and Mikey is able to convince Frank that he knows him better than Dracula does, and proves that he is his real friend. And Frank is able to turn the tide of this fight. And all of a sudden, Savanti and Dracula actually use the time staff, and we start battling through all types of times and eras and all that stuff. And eventually the time staff actually gets kind of broken, where Savanti has to fix it. But Mikey comes up with this idea to use the magic staff that Donnie had and use it as a stake, and throws it right into Dracula's heart. And that's what the plan was. In order to save the world, they had to stop the head of the monsters, which was Dracula. And you see him start to disintegrate and turn straight into bone, and everyone turns back into normal. But Savanti was able to fix the staff, and he still has it, until Renee hits him with that 1-2 combo. I thought was just that was just amazing. But they're able to go back to present day, leaving Savanti back in the Jurassic period, where he, I think, gets eaten by a T-Rex. But when they say their goodbyes, Volko is actually turned back into human form, and Renette is going to take him back to his time, to his daughter. And since Frank was able to turn the tide of this fight, Renette's going to take him to the future where he's going to be appreciated. But like I said, without a doubt, this was the funnest and the best episode of this Halloween story arc, Monsters vs. Mutants. Without a doubt, like I said, Wrath was probably the best thing of this whole arc. I mean, agree to disagree. I'm just saying that's what I thought. But what did you think of this episode? Comment below. Let's get a conversation going. Let me know what your favorite part was. And as always, if you enjoyed my thoughts, make sure you like, subscribe. But we have one more story arc left in the season, which is the Turtle crossover. And I believe that is 3 more episodes. We have 3 more episodes left in the season. We have 3 more episodes left in the series. I'm a little emotional right now. Wow. But enough of that. My last video will be in the description down below. And until my next video, I will see you later.